Do you need to make your own critical patch cords because you can't find the right length patch cord? I'm Don from True Cable, and today we're going to talk about how to get more reliable patch cords using field term plugs instead of RJ45s. All right, so you want to avoid RJ45 plugs. Well, some people call them RJ45s. They're actually 8P, 8C, or 8 position, 8 contact modular plugs to make your own patch cords. You don't want to terminate them onto both ends of solid copper. Instead, your best bet is to use a factory pre-terminated patch cord. And just so we have a baseline here, a patch cord is defined as a copper twisted pair Ethernet cable with 2 modular plugs already at both ends. I'm not going to say don't use RJ45s at all. There is an edge use case where they're appropriate at one end of a modular plug terminated link. The other end should be a keystone jack for PoE devices, for example. But using straight 8P, 8C, aka RJ45s, at both ends of solid copper cable is a bad idea for making patch cords because they're unreliable. So to prove that, first we're going to benchmark a terminated patch cord that is been hand terminated with 2 modular plugs on both ends of solid copper category 6 cable that I terminated. And then we're going to pit that against a patch cord that's been terminated with field termination plugs. And then we're going to demonstrate a category rated, certified, factory tested patch cord to show you the difference. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. First up is the hand terminated with RJ45 plugs patch cord that I created. That ding means it recognized I plugged it in. We're going to hit test and see what the results are. That's not a sound you want to hear. That is a fail. Now, what happened was this patch cord failed on crosstalk. Not terribly unusual for it to fail at crosstalk. It's probably failing crosstalk at the connectors because RJ45 plugs are not always the best fit for solid copper. Despite your best efforts, you may not get it to actually pass this kind of test. Would it still work? Yeah, but it's going to cause you problems in other situations, but it probably would work for like a single connection from like a router to a computer, but it's really not the best solution. This one is making use of field termination plugs, and we'll get into the advantages of those a little bit later, but let's see how it performs. A field termination plug essentially ends up being a modular plug, but it terminates very differently and it's got lots of advantages. So we're going to go ahead and test it and see how it performs. Ooh, that's a good sound. That is a full pass. Green. Green is what you want. Same cable from the same spool, but this time just terminated differently, and it passes on a patch cord test. And that's a great cable to be using for a critical link when you don't have a pre-terminated cord that's factory tested. And we'll take a True Cable Cat 6 component rated pre-certified patch cord and test it. And again, this is actually using those RJ45s. Difference is they've been factory made. And it's been tested. And let's see how that benchmarks out. Whew, that's a good sound. Green, pass. And it passed very well. Very good crosstalk at 3.7 dB. There you go. So that's a factory pre-terminated patch cord. It performed identically to a field terminated solid copper patch cord. So these two are equivalent. One you got to create by hand. Other one is pre-cut and already terminated. The one that didn't do so well, was the hand terminated one where I put so-called RJ45 plugs onto it. Okay, so you're probably wondering, why such a big performance difference between all of those termination methods, that being specifically field termination plugs and RJ45s, actually 8P8C modular plugs. Well, field term plugs are category rated, and so in this case, it's category 6A rated, and they have a printed circuit board inside, which is tuned for the category for which they're meant for. Of course, it's backwards compatible with Cat 6 and Cat 5e. The RJ45 has no such nice mechanism in there. It has no category rating technically at all, and it's just relying on mechanical fitment, and that's all it's relying on. Where the field termination plug is designed in such a way where these IDC prongs will actually take, for example, this is your conductor wire. the IDC prongs actually bite into that wire from right angles. And as a result, that wire is held very securely. Now with a so-called RJ45 plug, you've got these golden contacts here. And when they press down, what they do is they take your conductor wire, they pierce the insulation, and then it makes contact longitudinally, which allows for a lot of slop and play. Now, you may not be able to even feel that slop and play, but it's there, and even minor differences in tolerances from the plastic to the actual conductor wire can make a very big difference in how this performs. And so as a result, RJ45 plugs are super fitment sensitive. You have to get the insulation conductor diameter proper. You have to not accidentally thin out the conductors when you're straightening them out. You don't want any lateral movement at the rear of the plug that'll put any kind of stress here. Now, if you have lateral movement at the rear of the field termination plug, you've got those knives that have dug in there really good, and it's not going to allow those wires to move. So the field termination plug is also human friendly. So you get a color code in there, and you get the suture wires, flush cut them off, and then simply snap the whole thing together, where an RJ45 relies strictly on your workmanship and the quality of your cable. In fact, it shifts the burden more to the quality of your cable and your workmanship than the field termination plug does. So you got some pretty big advantages with these field termination plugs. They're great for making reliable ad hoc connections, for example, between two critical switch-to-switch, like a backbone between two switches, and you want a reliable working patch cord. You couldn't find a patch cord that's category rated and been tested that's in the right length. So you're gonna, we recommend you defer to a field term plug for that, not creating yourself a patch cord using two of these guys. If you take a look online, we have extensive video on how to actually terminate these field termination plugs, and they come in shielded and unshielded varieties. This happens to be an unshielded variety. And we also have extensive information about how to terminate 8P8C plugs. So I suggest you take a look at those if you want some more detail about how they actually terminate. Now, of course, let's talk about some downsides. Well, modular plugs, this 8P8C modular plug, is inexpensive. We're talking pennies. And they're easily mass produced. There's not much to them. It's a piece of plastic with 8 golden contacts, and that's all it is. The field termination plug, on the other hand, is considerably more costly due to the fact that it's designed with multiple parts, it's category rated, it's got the circuit board in there, so it's going to cost you more. Judicious use is probably called for when you're using these. And the other thing is size, depth. As you can see, once you get these, if you were to have these two terminated or plugging into something, your field termination plug, physically speaking, is significantly larger. In certain device housings, not necessarily switches, but like in an access point or perhaps a camera or some other piece of equipment may not be able to accept the physical size of the field termination plug. So you may not be able to use them at all. But if you can use them and it's a critical backbone connection and you need a reliable patch cord, this is definitely the way to go with them. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Happy networking.